Hurricane Melissa, documenting Brixton. Hurricane Melissa, documenting Brixton. Issue 22, issue 23. Issue 22, issue 23. Zines can come true. Look at me, baby. I'm selling you. You know you gotta have zines. You know you gotta have them. Double whammy zines for 2026. Excitement comes in producing zines as well in selling zines. I mean, this issue 23 just arrived. This issue 22 produced in January. This one, yeah, this is a January edition. This one just came yesterday, and it's the April edition. It's a little bit early, pre-release, you know. And it's getting up there. It's doing good, you know. My little zine production thing. Excitement for me comes in the form of selling zines and producing zines and making zines and bringing them out of my imagination into something physical that you can hold in your hand. You know, I love doing this. This is one of the best things that I've ever done. You know, in all the years of being a multiple media man, in all the years, you know, of shooting or designing and doing stuff for other people, this brings me so much joy. Excitement comes in the form of doing zines, of producing zines, of making zines. And being at issue 23 now, I've developed a workflow which I always follow, and it helps me, keeps me on track when I'm putting these things together. You know, and I don't know if you've ever put together a zine, you know, in the modern times, put together something which is totally your creation right the way through. It's gives you such a boost. Well, it does for me anyway. Such a boost, you know. And as I said, this one, issue 22, entitled I Owe You, Smile for Me Jamaica. And it's strap at the bottom says, when a country needs you. You know, because Hurricane Melissa tore up Jamaica, October gone. And being somebody who does zines, I knew I had to do something for that to not illustrate the hurricane because I weren't there, but being here in the UK and the Jamaican influence in London, in Brixton, you know, Brixton being the first place that people, when they came from the West Indies, ended up living. You know, they were in Clapham Shelter in the Windrush generation came in 48, and they were in Clapham Shelter underground. But the first place they came to look for work, the labour exchange, was Brixton. Hence, the Brixton community, the black community, West Indian community, Jamaican community ended up being Brixton. So the Jamaica influence is huge. So that's what this edition of my zine that came out in January is all about. You know, a celebration of the Jamaican influence in the UK as an IOU, because Jamaica's done so much for us, well, for me anyway, and for a lot of us. You know, the reggae music is worldwide. You know, as I said to a lady that I was speaking to the other day, Bob Marley had concerts in Russia, and he was packing up venues in Russia. Yeah, just from this little place. So not only I owe you Jamaica, I believe we owe Jamaica something. So this is why I produced this zine, you know. And the proceeds, a percentage of the proceeds from this zine, from each copy, goes back for the hurricane, you know, appeal, to raise funds to fix back up the island, you know, because roofs blow off. My mom's roof got blown off. Other people's roofs got blown off. Houses got blown down. And I know that the effort to raise funds has been really huge, and I thank everybody who has given a donation or sent something back, whether it be finance or clothes or whatever it is, to help in the reconstruction effort. But I thought I'd do something, in a publishing sense, so that when you buy this zine, not only do you help in the restoration, but you get something. You get something for your effort. You get something for your trouble, a keepsake, and that is good. So that's what this particular zine is all about. Hurricane Melissa, documenting Brixton. This particular zine, issue 26, getting ahead of myself, issue 23, Catch 23, is more along the lines of the other zines that I've done in this series, which is just documenting Brixton. So we're back with this one. This one was a remedy. This one we're back on flow, on course, on track with the documenting Brixton. And I love producing these. I just had to come up and do my first upload of the year. It is kind of late. It's March now. My first upload of the year, and touch on my 2 zines for 2026. And it's only March. I usually do 3 zines a year. This year it might be more by the speed I seem to be going. Anyway, it is important for us as photographers to produce something physical and leave something physical behind. It's bringing our imagination into reality. And as I said, I've got it down to an art, how I put these zines together. And the first thing that comes is a concept. I get a concept in my mind of what I want the zine to be about, because it's not just images flung together. It's not just images on display. It's all based around a concept for each edition. I'm doing a project which is documenting Brixton, and I'm working on a book which is documenting Brixton. And the zines were really just a vehicle to raise funds to help publish that book. But they're going so well. Producing them is going so well. I've got some of the other older issues back here. It's going so well that I just keep going. I just keeping it going. So the zines were the vehicle basically to raise awareness that I was putting together a book, and to raise funds because I'm self-publishing the book. But it's going so well, Look at this. Issue 19. It's going so well that I just want to keep it going to see where it reaches. And eventually I will put out the book, which I'm not sure, I haven't worked out yet whether I'm going to just join all the zines together, which I could do. But more likely, I will go through all the images again and come up with a nice concept for the book. Because as I said, it's not just about laying images, displaying images. There's got to be some story in the way that the images are laid out in the book. Yeah. So there's a process. You come up with a concept for each zine. This one was uniformity, about the uniformness of Brixton and the uniforms that you see, and the things that change and things that don't change. It's a uniform. You have official uniforms and you have unofficial uniforms. Unofficial uniforms are like fashion, Odd Socks was about the odd things that you see on the street in Brixton. And if you look at that cover, what's going on in this? What's going on? I just saw this on the street and I just snapped it really quick. The odd socks are odd things, odd situations, things that just happen. Things you only see in Brixton. That's what this one covers. So yeah, you come up with a concept. This is how I do it. I come up with a concept. And the first thing I think of, do I have an image for a front cover that will represent that concept. And I have to rack my brain. And generally, an image will have stuck in my mind from all the images that I've taken throughout the years. Certain images stick into your mind. And sometimes you have to search for them, but most of the time I have a general idea of what I want it to look like. Like this particular image for issue 23, Catch 23. Catch 23 is about frames, fishing for frames. Yeah. And a frame is an image that just grabs you. It's a moment in time. And I remembered this day, I was walking down the street and these guys were this guy was cutting his friend's hair on the street and doing the barber thing. And I jumped out with my camera and it's just the way they looked at me. I said, yeah, it's got to be that image. Fishing for frames. Yeah. This particular one, the Smile for Me Jamaica, I had to pose for this one. I had to model it myself. I was going to get somebody to model it, but I thought, you know what? Sometimes you can get trouble with models, you know. Let me just do it myself. So I just kind of like stood here. You can see it's here in the Skylab. I just stood here by the speaker box over there. Came up with the image. You know, I already had the Jamaica flag top. And I thought, yeah, this looked pretty good. Let me just use it. So once you come up with a front cover, I usually then try and work out a back cover. And on this back cover, we got this mural in Brixton with the Windrush generation on there. Yeah, coming from the West Indies. So the front cover, then the back cover. Once I've got a front cover and a back cover, it's usually the center spread. What can represent that center spread? And the center, for me, the center spread has to somehow link with the front cover. There has to be a link between the two. Because that's the thing that people go straight to when they just look at the center spread. And on my center spread of my IOU Jamaica, what have we got? We got Blacker Dread, we got Festus Coxon, you know, at Brixton Pop Brixton, and they were doing their Hurricane Melissa, raising funds for Hurricane Melissa. So that had to go in the center page spread. The center page spread for Catch 23, which is just about frames on Brixton, catching moments on Brixton. It had to be a powerful moment. And here we have our powerful moment in Brixton with the busker, the cats doing their thing, playing the music, in the midst of the rush of the crowds and people just going about their business. And this is a scene that you see all the time in Brixton. So, front cover, back cover. What we got on the back of this one? The tube station and all the signage and the posters and the people. It's the bustle, the hustle and the bustle. Remember, this is Catch 23. So front cover, back cover, inside cover. It's spread. Inside front, inside back. We got an inside back there. And once we got those four, is it four? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The zine is on. And it kind of takes form from there. And from there, I work 6 pages at a time and get a story on those 6 pages. Try and get a story to flow 6 pages at a time. Flat planned out. It's all planned out on the computer. I've got a little flat plan thing, all the squares representing all the pages. And then I do it 6 pages at a time. 6 pages, 6 pages. Working from the middle, going to the front. Then working from the middle, going to the back. And then it's just finding the images to go on those pages. And that's what takes most of the time. But it's fun. It's fun. Doing this is so enjoyable. Well, for me, this is my idea of fun. I don't know what your idea of fun might be, something different. But yeah. So the layout, the sequencing, the story, and your skills in learning how to fit images together will increase over time, because it's like a muscle. You're exercising that muscle. So yeah, zines can come true, and zines do come true, and we've got a whole load of them. And I just wanted to come on and show and let you know that issue 22 and issue 23 are out on the street. This one's pre-release. This is, the cover says April and it's only March, so this one's pre-release. This one came out in January, but you can get them. They're available. You know, Hurricane Melissa, documenting Brixton. Hurricane Melissa, issue 22, documenting Brixton, issue 23. You can get them, you know, just in the description, jetblackinkWordpress.com, and you can get them online. Yeah, but I'll put it in the description. It's all good. Is producing zines more exciting than buying a new camera? Ding! That's a good question. I bought a new camera. Well, a new old camera. This is my latest acquisition. It is a 1DX Mark 1, original 1DX. Always wanted one of these cameras. Look at it. It's a brick. Weighs a ton. My new street photography camera. No joke. I just bought this camera. I always wanted a 1DX, you know, from, I knew about a 1DX. It was just, you know, sometimes some things don't make sense, you know. Sometimes you don't necessarily need a thing, but you want that thing. And that kind of doesn't make sense. 1DX, these came out in 2012, around about that time. And when they came out, they were £6,000 for a camera. People were buying these back in the day for £6,000. And you know, obviously with depreciation over the years, it's now 2026. Guess how much I got this for? Guess. I'm going to give you a second. That was 5 seconds. I got this camera for £200. Can you believe it? A £6,000 camera in 2012 costs £200 in 2026. And I thought, you know what? I've got to have that. I've got to have that camera. And I didn't really buy it to use it, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. As I said, some things don't seem to make sense. But some people collect cameras. I don't want to turn into a camera collector. Although if you look at my rack of cameras, there's 15, 16 cameras on there. But this camera, I always wanted to try it to see what a £6,000 camera felt like, you know, and what the images look like. So, you know, I took it out for a couple of events and tried it out, and it's a nice camera. It works really well. The images are really nice. It's very good in low light. It's a bit heavy, but you would expect that. This camera is bomb-proof, waterproof. It's like a T62 tank or whatever it is, you know, Challenger tank. It is almost indestructible. So, and it's got a battery grip built in. It's got 2 sets of buttons. You've got a shutter button here, so if you want to shoot this way, you can. If you want to shoot this way, you can. You know, listen to the sound of that shutter. It's like a AK-47. No, but it is a nice camera. I've used it on, as I said, a few events, and I love the images that it produces. It's very good in low light. It's the focusing, and I'm trying to sell it to you now. It's got, how many focusing points? It's got, it looks like 1 million focusing points. And it's really fast. It's a sports camera. It's a sports and wildlife camera. Maybe I'm going to start doing some sports and wildlife, you know. This is opening up extra subgenres for me. No, it's a real nice camera, and getting it for that. I got it, it was £400. but I part exchanged my M5 that I weren't using, so I ended up getting it for £200. So 400, it was actually £400. But the prices on these are falling all the time. So 1DX Mark 1 is quite exciting getting a new camera, but does it match the excitement of producing zines? Not really. I mean, it wears off having a new camera, the new camera feel, the new camera excitement. It does wear off. And I got this January, early January, and it's now March, and is it wearing off? Kind of. It's a nice camera to have, and it's good to finally reach the 1 series, the flagship top camera that Canon makes. You know, my journey is complete from the days when I was using a 50D to now be able to use a Canon 1DX. Look at that, look at that. It's got 85 lens on it, 85mm. Look at that beautiful lens. Look at that sheen. When you turn up to an event with this, people dress back. Like, oh, the big boys are here. You know? It's a nice camera. If you get the opportunity, if you're a shotter and you get the opportunity to try out these things, these big proper sports pro cameras, do it. I would say do it. It's worth it. I'm going to use this now. This is going to be my low light event camera. I had to get a new battery. The battery that they sent this with is pretty whacked, or was pretty whacked. You could get maybe a day, 2 days out of it and it would die. So I got a new battery. Batteries cost a bomb. So maybe it wasn't 200 quid. The battery cost more than the camera. It was, how much was the battery? 200, it's 200 and something. Yeah, the battery cost more than the camera. But once I put the new battery in, I've had this battery in for a month and it's still got charged. A month. Did you hear me? A month. Admittedly, I don't use it all the time, but I have shot a couple of events and the battery's saying 4. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, it's saying 2. The battery's on 2. 4 is full, it's on 2. And that's after a month. A month. Yeah? So you could take this on holiday with 1 battery and it will just deal with everything. So it's a nice little camera. Images that come off it are beautiful. I might throw some images up if you behave yourself. It's got another window at the bottom, which I'm not really sure what that window does other than repeat what's up here. It's built like a tank. You can get 14 frames a second, and I'm not going to do the 14 frames a second because the frame count on this was pretty high. I think it was 600,000 or something like that, which is pretty high. I think the shutter is rated up to, is it 400,000? So this is, the shutter count is really high on this, so I'm not going to add more just to show you. There you go, I did it. I actually hate when I see people doing that. It's so boring. They could just do this. That's what the shutter sounds like when you do spray and pray. So yeah, for wildlife, you know, when you got all these birds and they're taking off, when you got a flock of birds, you can spray and get some good pictures with this. So maybe that's how I'll use it. I don't normally spray burst. I don't normally do burst, but with this I might be tempted to try it out. But yeah, it's a nice machine. It looks practically brand new. Look at this. Not a scratch on there. Underneath, maybe a little, just a little. It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing. Take CF cards, dual CF cards. You know, photographers are always going on about, you gotta have 2 card slots. If you ain't got 2 card slots, ain't bro. This got 2 card slots. Even though it's only got 1 card in there. But yeah, nice little thing. Canon 1DX Mark 1. I did want to get the Mark 2, and maybe at some point I will, because it's good. The Mark 2 is it's got a touch screen. This is not touch screen. And Mark II is good for filming. This one you can film with it, but it's a bit of rigmarole you have to go through to switch between photography and video. Having said that, I think video nowadays, everyone's got those little DJI things, you know, the little DJI on a stick. Is it DJI 3? I think that's what everyone's shooting with nowadays. So the video in cameras, in these kind of cameras, I don't think people are going to be using it that much longer, you know. So we can go back to just having this for photography and the DJI thing, the DJI Pro 3 for video. I think that's the way it's going to go. It's been separated now. You no longer have to use your DSLR, your big DSLR, to shoot video. That's what I'm seeing anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. You know, for those, the gearheads out there who can't watch any video unless there's a bit of gear in there. Here you go. Here's a bit of gear. Get that down here. Zoom.